Everything's so boring nowadays. All the games are just simulators and clickers. Wait, that outfit, the style. Oh god, please, not again. No, no more. Please. Welcome to Voxlblade, an RPG game all about constructing blades and taking down monsters. But what if we took out the blade part and just voxeled? What would happen? Well, in this series, that's what we're checking out. The rules are simple. I can never equip my blade and or use the weapon art associated with that blade. Anything I can do without equipping the blade is totally legal. However, if it requires me to hold the weapon, that is completely off the table. All content must be done solo without the assistance of anyone else. This means no trading, no boosting, no kill assist, no healing, anything. To consider the challenge complete, I will have to defeat every single mainline boss on their intended settings, including side bosses other than Stratos. This means that dungeon bosses must be fought at difficulty 1, while overworld bosses must have all the materials gathered and spawned alone. Stratos can be beaten by a level 1 because of the cannon, so I will not be fighting him. Also, the summon is completely luck-based. That's cringe. So, join me on my journey of beating Voxlblade without the blade. Enjoy the ride. Real quick, I just want to say thank you guys for the support, even though I've been gone for so long. I'm hoping that I can start getting back into content, and maybe this series might go on a little longer than the Bounce Craft Wars one. We'll see. Also, apologies for the new mic jump scare. I started making this video 3 months ago. So, just like my Bounce Craft Wars series, we're going to be going straight into this with a game plan. Of course, when I first started, I didn't actually have a plan. I was just going in blind. But now that I've actually done everything already, I can say exactly what I did, call it a game plan, and get more views. So what is this game plan? Well, we're going to break it down into 3 parts. A, levels, B, damage, and C, literally everything else because I can't come up with something. So the first step, levels, is quite simple. Because we cannot deal damage ourselves, grinding bunnies and such is completely off the table. Well, at least for now. Instead, I will be completing every single non-combat quest I can to get as much XP as possible. My end goal in this leveling is to at some point collect a rune, which will lead us into our next step, damage. But before I start talking about damage, I'm going to talk about the quest that I was doing, because it's actually quite important, believe it or not. All the quests I was doing at this point were non-combat quests, as stated before. And what this means is I don't have to kill anything, so no slay 15 bunnies, no slaying planeswoos, none of that. Instead, there were things like delivering letters, running around, running around, running around, and running around. So after all this effort, it sure would be a huge shame if something like a softlock were to happen, right? This is soft-locked.
I'll be honest, this was one of 2 reasons why this video took so long to come out. I lost all hope after this, but I came back to the challenge unsatisfied with myself. I knew that it was my mistake that caused the run to fail, and so I wanted redemption. So here's the real start of the run. Alright. So let me explain the build here. First things first, we got the elf race. Now, you're probably asking, but Hiron, why not Dragon Blood? The Dragon Blood gets a rune for free! And to that I answer, oh man. As much as I'd absolutely love the Draconic Guild and race and all that goodness, I just can't. Getting to level 25 with basically nothing sounds awful. So we're not doing that. Instead, we're going to heavily rely on our rune cooldown from Elf and use things like BACKKKKKK oh man, to summon tornadoes that do absolutely blistering damage known as like 10. Now the only problem is, how do you get this armor if you can't kill the boss? You can't do damage, you goober. Wrong. Shopping. As you saw in this picture earlier, I did have a cacti crown at level 12. And I said no boosting, so how is this possible? Well, the snails man actually can sell it at a not cheap price. And I waited a couple of days, and by that I mean like 14 days straight, to get a Cacti King's crown. But that's for the future. Right now we're talking about the present, which was also a month ago. Ignore that. And the present currently requires me to get experience points. So here's me doing that. pickles. Let's go. Progress. Progress. Now that I hit level 15, things were getting spicy. I can now get my guild, which would be the Scholar Guild, making this build even closer to finished, which is not close at all. And the first thing you gotta do is use a rune or weapon art 75 times. Also known as use your rune 75 times because I can't do the other one. And yeah, that's it. Next time you see me, I'll be dripped out of my mind with the coolest crown, pants, or shirt you've ever seen, and this run will actually start. If you guys want to see more of this series, please show your support by hitting the like button or subscribing, because boy am I excited to challenge myself even further than I already have. Let's see what happens. Fair warning though, this series will get a little spicy. It is a challenge run after all. My last series took me a couple of weeks, totaling just over a month to actually complete. This one is far worse, because in my last challenge, I could actually kill enemies. But in this one, let's just say every enemy is a raid boss when it comes down to it. Also, Voxel, if you're watching, the arena game was fun.